Perfectly said. Thank you. All right. Okay, so welcome everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing rolling here. We're recording, we're on. Anything? Okay, we're good, Stephanie. All right, so thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Every Thursday, this call has continued to happen throughout 2020. Not knowing beforehand what this was gonna look like, Stephanie and I jumped into it and decided to welcome you all to our living rooms through Zoom. And I really am grateful for technology. You know, it's something that I want to like throw across the room half the time, and then I'm so grateful for the other half of the time. And I'm just grateful to have you guys here to join us. It has been such a blessing in all of our lives to hear these beautiful stories. You know, when I started Isagenix 7 years ago, I felt broken and a little hopeless as to what I should do and how to fix my situation that I was in. I was exhausted, and I want to see some comments over here. If anything I say rings a bell, I want to hear about it. But I was struggling. I felt a little bit alone, almost like pathetically alone, like nobody else is going through what I'm going through. And it was really, really hard. And I remember just laying in bed every night, wishing that life could be different. And let me rephrase that, wishing that I could show up differently in life, because I had so many beautiful things that I was grateful for, but I was struggling. I needed rocket fuel, guys. I needed rocket fuel to fuel the dreams and ambitions and all the ideas that I had, because I spent hours on Pinterest looking up ideas on how to be a better mom and how to have fun with my kids and how to do all these amazing things, but I didn't have the time, the energy, or the money. Like I just was just failing, and it was miserable to go to bed at night feeling like that. I wanted to be a better wife. I wanted to be a better mother. At the end of the day, those were my two main goals. And when I heard about Isagenix, I jumped right in simply because I felt in my heart that it could be a solution, or that it was going to be a solution for me. And it has, guys. Isagenix has become the rocket fuel in my body. It has been the community that has fueled my dreams. It has helped me build a bigger backbone. It has given me so much. And we're just so grateful that every Thursday we get to come on here together as a family in our living rooms and share remarkable stories of triumph. And tonight, you guys have the blessing of hearing from two women who have inspired me so much in my life. All right, Stephanie, I don't know if you have any slides, but I want to share, just kind of go straight into it before I forget and start my introductions, and I haven't even gone over everything else. So let's go ahead and really quickly show you guys what's coming up. Next week we have, oh, it's okay, you're good. Well, let's go backwards here for a second. All right, so our vision with Isagenix, and this is our new branding because we're an innovative company constantly looking to be better and show up better to inspire the world. And it's that everybody deserves a healthy, joyful, and abundant life. I mean, raise your hand if you want those three things. All right, all of us, right? And without one of them, we're not whole. But with Isagenix, we have an opportunity to achieve all three of those. We want to look better, of course, eat better, feel better, move better. We just want to live life, guys. Literally, like suck the marrow out of life and do all the things that you want to do. And it's going to look different for all of us. And that's why I'm so excited for these calls, because we get to hear everybody's different stories, where they came from and where they're going. All right. So next week, we get to hear from Sarah, Wendy, and Robin. And so excited for these beautiful women who are coming on. And they're going to teach us a lot about a lot, but especially as it relates to being women and mothers in this world and how they are helping their families grow, right, in health and in abundance. So I'm really excited about next week. And with that being said, I get to go straight into the call. We want to waste any time here. As you guys listen to these stories, just remember that just like everything in life, you know, what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. And so we're not going to claim to cure or prevent. We're not even going to diagnose any of your illnesses, your struggles in life. We're not certified counselors. Well, Susan might be. She's a little bit of everything, but I'm certainly not. And so just know that it's what you put into it. All right. And so the stories you hear tonight are incredible, but that doesn't guarantee that you're going to have the same exact story. You get to create your own story. How great is that? All right, so I promised myself that I wasn't going to get emotional tonight and cry or any of that stuff that you guys usually see from me. I love this woman. I'm so grateful that I get to share her with you tonight. She is an entrepreneur. She's doing a little bit of everything. She joined me in Isogenics, and you're gonna hear her story, so I'm gonna let her do it. But guys, this is one of those gems that you come across in life, and you start hearing their story and start seeing them walk the walk and showing up so big in life, and you are just awed by their strength. I'm constantly awed by what this woman has gone through, and while going through so many trials, she continues to show up giving and lifting others and just being this light in the world. So without any further ado, Michelle, are you on? Can you unmute your line?
I am. Hi.
Well, hey.
So wow, I like, how do you follow that? Oh my gosh. I mean, let me not bawl my eyes out. So my name is Michelle Micalizzi, and I am an Isogenics consultant. I came on with the company, I guess, last year in April, and then came on later on in the year as an associate. And so Trisha was in my Business Networking International course. I was basically in that course group, okay? And I was a business consultant in that group, kind of there promoting my business consulting services and my radio talk show called Relentless Talk Radio. And part of my Relentless Talk Radio basically is streamlining the conversations that I've been having for years about entrepreneurism, philanthropy, art and fashion, and health and fitness. And the reason why I added health and fitness back into the group is because I've been a personal trainer, a yoga teacher, and a health coach for 36 years. And no matter what I've done in my life, no matter how I spin it, I always end up back focusing on health and fitness, because I do a photo shoot for my business and people would say to me, oh my God, I'm 53 too. How come you look this way and I look that way? And what are you eating and what are you doing? And so I realized I needed to get accountable for that. And I was referring business to personal trainers and health coaches. And I had a health coach that I was working with primarily initially. And our lives changed and things just kind of shifted. And Trisha was like, okay, let's have lunch. And I said, I refer you business. And she said, you know what? I'll take your business all day long, but I know you, Michelle. And here's Trisha, right? Doing her thing. She said, I know you. We locked eyes. I could tell, right? And she said, I want you to come and see the corporate offices and see what it is that you're referring. And I want you to come to Vegas with me. Who'd say no to that? And meet the owners and the top leaders in the company, because I really think that you'll be surprised by our company. And you know what? I really was. I went into the corporate offices and was like, wow, like this is a thing. So if you haven't seen the corporate offices, it's like a huge building. It's really professionally done. There's a lot of really cool marketing. One of my degrees is in graphic design and photography. So I really appreciate well done design. And when you walk into Isogenics, right away it says, we are a company that's in it to win it, and we have a history that is rich and successful, and this is where we're going. And I was really intrigued by that. I'm intrigued by winners. And so Trisha, of course, was dripping on me this whole time, because that's what she does. She's super good at it. And then we went to Vegas together, just she and I had the opportunity to listen to some of the best leaders I've ever heard ever, which is really saying something, because I've been a personal development kind of junkie my whole life. And I've had a lot of different sales capacities. I've run 6 companies of my own. I really appreciate great sales training, because I never saw myself as a sales person. So to get really great sales training that's inspiring really catches my attention. And I heard Emily Varva speak, and I thought, there's really something to this company. Of course, by the end of the weekend, I had drank the Kool-Aid and I was coming on board as an associate. So I guess what opened my eyes to the opportunity was when I was primarily earning my living as a personal trainer in New York City. And I used to say this to people: if a good flu came along, it would knock the cheese off your cracker. And you would have a break in your schedule that would make it really difficult to earn rent. And in New York City, I was running a marketing company, running my personal training company, bartending on the weekends, lighting my hair on fire with one toe and spinning plates to be able to live in New York City in that period of time. And so I thought that I had to get out of the health and fitness industry to stabilize my life. I thought that I had to get out to stabilize my life so I could have children. And so I left New York City and I moved to Vermont. And although I stayed in the health and fitness field, my dreams that were attached to my financial success were pulled away from fitness and were put on my master's degree that I got in administration and on business. And so, I think the thing that really caught my attention about Isagenix was it was a way to marry my love for fitness that I had grown up with. And I grew up in a bicycle shop in Vermont with my love and passion for entrepreneurism and abundance and being successful, because I didn't earn 3 degrees to be a poor woman. You know what I mean? So I noticed that there was really something to Isagenix that was based upon integrity, and it was based upon sound business practices, and also would enable me to help people in a way that I hadn't been able to help them before. So the other thing that really got me was the products. I started off just using cleanse. So Tricia was smart because she knew that I just wanted to cleanse, right? And so I started off just using a couple products, and then I added a couple, and I tried a couple, and I tried a couple. And so the Isa Pro is my fave because I used to rollerblade around New York City with a backpack full of chicken breasts. Kid you not, true story, with like the chicken breast juice sometimes dripping down my legs, sliding across taxi roofs, getting in between clients to get that kind of protein in, So to be able to do a bikini competition and get that kind of protein in without carrying 4 chickens on my back, I was excited. Okay, that's exciting for me. I mean, that might make me a complete fitness geek, but that's the truth. And then the other thing was, I've always struggled with waking up in the middle of the night. And Tricia said, you might want to try the sleep spray, like suggest, right? You might want to try it. And I'll tell you, I have sleep spray on my bed. I sell a boatload of sleep spray. I'll sell just sleep spray, $13. I'm like, you have to have this stuff. So I have it in my cart. I send it out to people. You having a hard time sleeping? When I wake up in the middle of the night now, I actually send people sleep spray in the middle of the night on Facebook. Just true story, because if you're on Messenger at 4 o'clock, I'm waking up to go to the gym and you've been up all night, you need sleep spray, okay? So those are 2 of the products that I really love. Another one, and this is the third one, I just have it in my drink, okay? It's Hydrate. I got this for free this month because I did my job, okay, and a cleanse, and I put it in my seltzer water, and it's in my mug right now. So I love the Hydrate products. It's like awesome. It's like punch. So my vision for the future, Tricia and I were sitting together when I heard Emily Barba said, it's not over until you win, right? And I have had a lot of crapola in my life happen, and I'm not done. God's not done with me yet. And Tricia and I both have the mindset that it's not over till we win. So for me, what does winning look like? It's being financially free. And it's creating as many financially free people as I possibly can around me. That was always the role of my consulting business. That was always the role for everything I've ever done, is helping people to make a living, to be healthy, and to be full of joy. So every day I really focus on all the stuff that I've learned when I was a financial advisor about prospecting, just showing up and doing the work. And also, pre-call, I heard someone say, like, you can have a lot of stuff go down in your life. And sometimes you have to back up, slow down, take a breath, wash your face, as Rachel Hollis might say. And you just got to allow yourself the grace to go through the bumps to get where you're going. And thankfully, my whole life, I felt that all I needed was the right partner and the right product, because my drive would take care of the rest. And I really feel like, finally, and my mom is on the line right now, because I wanted her to meet all of you, and I wanted her to hear this. My dad just passed away in February. And I know when my dad was dying, I had relief, because number one, I could be there because I was an Isagenix associate. So I was literally earning money while my father was passing away in my arms, okay, which is really saying something. And the reason why I had peace while I was doing that was because I knew I had finally found the right company, the right product, and the right way to leverage my entrepreneurial spirit in alignment with everything that I'm already doing. So, Tricia, thanks for being a nag. Yeah, I joke with her because, she was like, I know you're just going to come on board with us. And I say nag like jokingly. She wasn't a nag. She was just persistent. You know what I mean? And I love that about you. And, as I'm reading, I don't have it in front of me, but Resilience by Kathy Hoover. One of the things she says I think is really important is keep asking, because you just never know where someone's going to be in life, right? So there's a couple that's not on the call tonight. I'm going to share this call with them later. I know that when I've asked them in the past, they haven't been in the right spot, but now they might be in the right spot. So keep on asking, keep on touching, keep on reaching out to people, because you never know when the health solution is going to be the right solution, and when the financial solution is the right solution. So I'm really super excited to hear Susan Slice speak. I've been stalking her since I heard her speak in Vegas. So Susan, thanks so much for being on the call, and it's a privilege to be able to speak on the same call with you. So thanks again for letting me speak. And I didn't even cry, Trisha. I could have cried, right? So thanks a lot, everybody.
You could have cried, but you almost made me. So thanks for that. So next, guys, we get to hear from my friend and the incredible woman, Susan Sly. Many of you know her, but if you haven't, I just want to share. I know that Stephanie has a few pictures before she jumps on here, but it's just such a beautiful family, and she's going to tell you guys all about it. Because this is Living Room Style, you guys know we don't share all the titles and the crazy success stories, which you'd be blown away if you knew everything this woman has accomplished, not just in Isagenix, but in network marketing in general, and in so many other business endeavors that she's constantly a part of. But I was reading earlier, I was reading a book, and it asked the question, I know you've probably heard this question before many times, but it said, what if everything you were going through is preparing you for what you asked for? And I have to tell you guys, when I get on my knees at night, I ask God for what I need, but I always finish it by saying, or something better, or something better, because I don't want to limit myself or him. All right. And as I thought about, having Susan on tonight and having her share her story, I just kept thinking about what she's overcome, what Michelle's overcome, and what I've overcome, and all of these beautiful stories of overcoming. And it's just incredible, guys. I want you to just take a breath for a second. Close your eyes. I'm watching you. I can see your screens. Close your eyes for just a minute. Okay, I see you, Debbie. Close your eyes. All right, take a deep breath in. And I just want to remind you, what you have gone through is preparing you to do incredible things in the future. What you have gone through is preparing you to have empathy and compassion for other people and to show them the way out. What you have gone through is actually, it doesn't define who you are, but you can use it as tools to become the person you want to become. And that's why I'm so grateful tonight to have Susan on, because she is an inspiration of overcoming and becoming a light to the world. And believe me, she's got thousands and thousands of followers because she's true and authentic, and she walks the walk, and she's a true example of perseverance. So Susan, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Well, thank you so much, Trisha. And Michelle, I was touched by your story. I'm sorry about the loss of your dad. And I was almost rolling on the ground with the chicken breasts and the bicycle, because I did miss fitness years ago, and I used to boil chicken. And for 16 years, I've been a vegetarian. I can't even stand the smell of chicken now. So kudos to you. I want to acknowledge everyone who's here, who's watching. There's something that brought you here. And the first thing I want to say is that success isn't convenient. It's often the Zoom you didn't feel like attending, or the post you didn't feel like reading, or the new video you didn't feel like watching. And then suddenly there was something about it that said, you know what, Debbie, you needed that, right? Stephanie, you needed that. And I believe God brought us here for a reason. And so several weeks ago, when Trisha asked me to come and share my story, and even just beforehand, we were just texting, and I was like, well, what can I do to serve? What part of the story is going to have the most impact for everyone? And I don't know if one part of my story will touch you, or if it'll be something I say as a teaching moment. but I came here to help you grow your belief, most importantly in yourself. And so I'm just going to go ahead and share some slides. And, you know, like Trisha said, I'm not interested in titles because titles don't always portray the work that goes into all of it, right? And so I want to begin with the spotlight on you, all of you. So how many of you are having the 2020 you thought you'd have, right? Like, what is up with that? I actually have 5 kids. The youngest is 11 years old. Yesterday, we found out Cox was boosting our Wi-Fi. We have Gigablast, and you would have thought like it's Christmas. I said to Chris, praise Jesus, because like between me being on Zooms and the kids being on Zooms and they're starting school from home. During COVID, our daughter Avery graduated from ASU magna cum laude in marketing, and our son AJ, who's on the autism spectrum, who was told he would never go to college, he would never play sports, he graduated with a 4.0 GPA from high school and is going off to GCU to study in their honors program. And, you know, and so we were doing the COVID graduation thing, and it was heart-wrenching. And, you know, how many of you are parents, right? And you're like, you know, it's that graduation, it's like graduation weddings, you know, and I felt so robbed, I guess. And I had to sit with it because I thought, you know, why do I feel robbed? It wasn't because I don't share, like 80% of my life doesn't show up on Instagram, but I was like, why is it? What is that I'm sitting with? And so we put the signs in the lawn that we had the graduate, you know, we did all the things that we do. And then I stepped back and I went, you know what, Susan, you're making this about you. You want your mom moment right now. And it isn't about you. As an Isagenix leader, I always shine the light on the team and serve the company. Right now, I'm sitting on one of the field advisory boards for Isagenix. But I went, oh my gosh, you know, you're making this so much about you. And the moment I step back, the coolest thing happened. My daughter's boyfriend, he messages me. He's like, we have to do something for Avery. And I'm like, Kieran, what are we going to do? It's COVID. You can't even like hug your husband. It's like for social distancing, everything. And so he said, if I find a venue, we do it responsibly, will you help me out? So we ended up throwing a very responsible party at a friend who's a big YouTube influencer in the automotive space at his garage. And we threw a graduation party for Avery and AJ. And the reason I want to start with that story is I was holding on to something so tight. And how many of you have ever held on to the damn rank advancement so tight, or the double PIBs, or if I enroll 5 people, I'll get the $200, or the, you know, how many of you have ever held on to something so tight and you realized that it was the wrong way to go about things? And the moment that you let it go and you stop making it about you, the enrollments came, the rank advancing came. If you can relate to that, if you're here in the chat, just say me, if you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so as I go through my story, my goal is that you leave here with just a little bit of something that inspires you or empowers you. I've been in Isagenix for 17 years. And so for me, it's not about another rank advancement at this point. It's not about a double PIB. I still get those, but what it's really about is legacy. I have known Jim and Kathy. I've known Eric since he was 14 years old, you know, and I see him as a dad and I'm like, whoa, when did that happen? But I know you're not financially linked to me, but I want you all to succeed, because when one person succeeds in Isagenix, it actually helps the whole company succeed. And if you understand, Michelle came from the finance world, if you understand our compensation plan, the reason the cycle value is supported is because of so many people cycling. Do you guys understand this? So you don't have to have a finance degree like Michelle, and you don't have to drive down Wall Street with chicken in your backpack, but you do have to understand that you will never, write this down please, you will never be successful in Isagenix if you have a lack mentality. That's number one. And you will never be successful in Isogenics if you make it about you. People like that come and go really quickly. So going back to January, you know, we start the year, we're very excited. It's like we have all these goals and, you know, we're going to crush this. We were maybe at New Year's kickoff, like in a real live event, imagine. And, you know, then we go home and we're like, yes, we're doing a crystal reset. And then suddenly we got overwhelmed maybe. And then it was like COVID hit and it's like this, right? and the reality is, I want to share with you a statistic. So 92% of people never achieve their resolutions. 98% of people die without fulfilling their dreams. 97% of Americans will never be millionaires. And if you want to be in the 10% club, the people who achieve, not just in Isogenics, in anything, then you've got to think like the 10%ers. You know, we're living in a time of amazing abundance. You know, when all the COVID stuff is going on, Jocko Willink, he's got a great podcast. All the, you know, everyone, there was no gym equipment. Everyone was trying to buy gym equipment. And one of my books, bestseller, Organize Your Life, I optimize every aspect of my life. So I have free weights in my office, and in the morning after I go running or Peloton or whatever, I watch CNBC, I'm lifting weights and I'm trading stocks. Many years ago, I became a licensed stockbroker back when I was 18 years old. So anyway, I have every aspect of my life optimized because I choose to be in the 10%. And so what does someone in the 10% do? Write this down. Jimmy Smith taught this to me. They do today what others won't, so they can do tomorrow what others can't. And that means when your friend is saying, well, no one wants to get healthy, or unemployment rate just went back up again, or whatever, you have to tune them out. Because if you're going to be in the 10%, that means you have to see abundance everywhere. You have to see people are in pain everywhere. I enrolled a gal last Friday, and she enrolled 11 people by Monday. And Trisha did a beautiful job with the disclaimer, and I'm not going to say this isn't hard work, but between Friday and Sunday, she generated $1,000 in commissions with her crystal consultant bonus, her double PIBs, enroll 5, get $200. And I said to her, what is it? And she said, Susan, people are in pain. I'm talking to them about their pain. I'm painting a picture of possibility that pain can end, and I'm showing them how Isogenics can be part of that. And then, and then she's enrolled a bunch more people this week, right? And so I want all of you to be in the 10%. I want you to make that transition. And it doesn't matter what has happened this year. All that matters is what you choose to do in the moment. But here's the thing I've always said, you can't be the same person in a new year and expect different results. You cannot be the same person in a new year and expect different results. I don't know who's annotating, but maybe Trisha, we could turn that off. They're highlighting, that's cool. But the highlights are gonna follow us everywhere we go, right? So we do have to, I'm just gonna undo it if I can. Oh no. Clear all drawings. Okay, there we go, Trisha, I did it. So what people see, my name was up in Times Square at the Hard Rock Cafe, or, with Eric Worre GoPro, or speaking on stages. I guess about 2 months ago, I was in Forbes, blah, blah, blah. And they see that, but they don't see the other aspects of this. And, Trisha, I can't change my slides now that with the annotation. This has happened to me before too. So I don't know if you have a way to.
I'm trying to look. I don't see anybody else able to do anything. So I'm not really positive how that's happening.
You know what I always say? It's
what?
All perfect.
That's right.
Okay. Let me see if I can give myself the remote control back.
Okay, let me try and make you. Let's see.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, there we go. Here we go. Yeah, it's awesome. Anyway, so, they see like, oh, she was a professional triathlete. She did all these Boston marathons and, blah, blah, blah. But one night I was in LA and Trisha said this about storytelling. So, hopefully my stories are interesting enough. I was in LA and I was about, the next day I was going to do a speaking event with John Assaraf, who was one of the people in The Secret. If you saw The Secret, he was the one who talked about the vision board. He wrote a book called The Answer. So it was John and I can't even remember who else was speaking at that. So I'm in my hotel room alone and A&E biography, I'm flipping channels and it's Natalie Cole. And she said something and I will never, ever forget it. She said, you only see the glory, you don't know the story. So we see like, Michelle talking about, doing bikini competitions. We see that body, but we don't know all the stuff that went into it. We don't know Trisha showing up week in, week out, her messaging to get all the guests to serve all of you. Like, seriously, it's a lot of work chasing people down. I know you don't see, Kathy Coover, you look at her Instagram, she's so beautiful. You don't see, she gets up at 4 a.m. every single morning. She prays, she meditates, she prays for all of us. Then she has coffee, she has ionics, she goes and hikes. And while she's on her hike, she's doing voice text for all of the staff. You're amazing. Let's make it a great day. She's calling Eric, like all this stuff that goes on behind the scenes. So don't worship false idols. Don't worship an end result, an Instagram photo. Don't worship any of that. Really seek to be curious about what it is someone did to get to that end result, because they left a trail, and that trail is a recipe. So going back in time a little bit, I was like an OG online health coach back in the 90s. So I had one of the first websites dedicated to health coaching. And this is what it looked like. I pulled it up from the way back. And now everyone's a health coach, right? Everyone's a lifestyle coach. No one was doing this. I was like 1995, one of the early adopters. And as a result, I attracted some pretty well-known clients. So I had Major League Baseball players, NHL hockey players, celebrities were my clients. And so I was like, this is pretty cool. I was a personal trainer. I was a nutritionist. I was an athlete. I got my pro card for triathlon. So I was doing that. I owned a health club. I was a professor of nutrition. Like Trisha said, I did so much. And I told myself this story that I had to always be working. And so I did, I'd start my day. I did an Instagram post about this today. I'd start my day at like 4 a.m. and I'd get up, I'd get my own workout in the pitch dark, and then I'd go train clients. And then I would go to my health club, I'd bake muffins, I'd make sure everything looked good, I'd open things up, then my manager would come, and then I would go lead some fitness classes, I'd train some clients, get my second workout in of the day. And then at 3 p.m, I'd go teach college, and then I would shoot like 5 television clips in a row. So if it was a shooting day, I had to do that too. I was on radio on Sunday, and it was just like constant, just 7 days a week grinding it out. And what happened to me was I kept pushing and driving and pushing and driving, and there was a part of me that was compensating for the fact that I didn't have a lot of belief in myself. And so I thought if I kept proving myself that, eventually I would feel like I belonged. And what happened to me in January of 2000, peak of my career, television, radio, celebrity, blah, 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 that I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And I had been symptomatic for about a year, and I had just continued to push it to the side. And I was dropping things. I was slurring my speech. I wasn't sleeping. I had neuropathy through the left side of my body. And it was bad. And my doctor was one of my clients. And I said to him, I need tests. And he said, oh, you're just stressed and blah, blah, blah. Eventually I got the test. But when I went into his office, he held up a scan of my brain, and he said, listen, it looked like fish in a fishbowl. He said, Susan, these are lesions, and your case is so bad that you are very likely to be in a wheelchair in 10 years and dead in 20. I was 27 years old. Can you imagine? 3 days later, I'm sort of searching on the computer, remember computers in the year 2000, they were huge, right? And I'm searching on the computer about MS, and a chat log pops up, and I click on it, and it's my husband and his, mistress. And so 3 days after the MS diagnosis, I catch my husband in an affair. 16 weeks later, I go to my health club to go train, do a spinning class, and there's a padlock on the door, and we had been shut down for failure to pay taxes. And if you've ever seen any of my YouTube videos or, any of the social media I do, I'm always preaching and teaching fiscal responsibility. I'm a huge fan of Dave Ramsey, except when he riffs off about network marketing, he doesn't know what he's talking about there. But, I buried my head in the sand. And I was so, and this is what I see, like with social media influencers, it's like they're living these lives that you don't see what's going on behind the scenes. And these are false idols. These are, these are the people that our kids worship or we even look up to. And I have friends who make tons of money on social media. And when they do a photo shoot, they bring in the photographer and the makeup artist and the hairstylist. You probably follow some of them, and they make it look like that's how they look every day. They'll do the whole shoot, and then they'll post for, 7 to 14 days, and then they do it all over again. Unless they're doing something fabulous, they'll post in the moment. It's all scripted. And I was part of that world before the world as we know it. And I was living such a lie, such a delusion. And so there I was at 27 in the year 2000. I became homeless, MS, divorced, and I was a single mom. And I lost everything. And I ended up on my brother-in-law's sofa, and I got humbled. And it was during that time that for some reason, the Scarlet Letter came into my world. I can't even remember how or why, but I remember thinking Hester Prim had to wear the A for adulterer and, wear that around and she was an outcast. And I thought, damn it, Susan, you're wearing a D for divorce. You're wearing an S for sick. You're wearing a B for broke. And you have the power to take off your scarlet letters. And I did. In the summer of 2000, I met Deborah Kay. She came into the health club where I was working. She was the person who 3 years later would introduce me to Isogenics. I also re-met the boy that I fell in love with. In high school, we're about to celebrate our 20-year anniversary. And I'll tell you something. It was up to me to take off the scarlet letters. And some of you, ladies and gentlemen, some of you are choosing to wear the scarlet letter. Or maybe you're in the 100-pound club and you're still wearing the, O for obese, if that's what was going on, or you're wearing a D for divorce or B for bankrupt, until you take your letters off. And I would invite you to do it tonight, right now in this moment, because you can just take them off. No matter what happens, you're going to get ahead and you're going to pull back. And you're going to get ahead and you're going to pull back because you're going to still be running this program that you're not worthy. How are you supposed to be an Isogenics Legacy Club member? And I want all of you to be in that club. How is that supposed to happen when you're wearing these scarlet letters? I don't know. And so as I was rebuilding my life, working at this club, I took my sales team to #1 in the world. We had 444 clubs back in the day, Bally's, if you remember that chain. I was their top producing sales manager. I had a team of 50 people, and I designed this 8-point sales system, and they were like, what are you doing? No one has ever done what you did. And the president of the company flew from Chicago to Toronto, Lee Hillman. He's like, Susan, what are you doing? And I showed him the system. Well, guess what? That system that I developed for Bally's is the same thing I used to build my Isogenics team. So today our team is, we have 46 millionaires, soon to be 47 on the team. We span many, many countries, and I use the same system to build the team. This is a throwback. This is my husband, Chris, and I in high school. We went to the same high school. Our dads went to the same high school. When we discovered Isogenics, I was very sick, and Deborah kept calling me and calling me. We were living in this house. There was black mold in the house. The kids were 5 and 1. And I have to tell you, like, I was not open. She called me 21 times. And on the 21st call, I didn't want to pick it up, but she call blocked her number. And I just, you know, I was like, damn it, not you. And anyway, I looked at the website. I was going to blow her off. I'm a nutritionist. I know everything. You know, that's what I was thinking. I know everything, but I feel like crap, right? How many of you know someone like that? They're a know-it-all, but they feel like crap and they're broke. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, when I went to the website, I saw John Anderson, and here's the irony that brings the whole story together and how good God is. John Anderson was the original co-founder of Isagenix and our formulator, and he still formulates some of our products today. John is the person who formulated all the products I used as a pro triathlete, and all of the products I was putting my clients on back in the 90s. So if it had been anyone else on the website, I probably wouldn't have joined. And so as part of the Isagenix journey, it's just been, you know, getting gritty. It's been digging in. As Trisha mentioned, I wear a lot of hats. I co-founded an artificial intelligence startup. We, you know, specialize in the hospital sector, not related to Isagenix. I'm currently studying at MIT. I've got the kids. I've got a lot of life, but I'm never going to stop building Isagenix because there's nothing else out there that helps people like this business helps. But I want to leave you with this, and then Trisha, turn it back to you. I started at making it all about you, and I want to finish with it all about you. In order to shift your perspective and find your purpose, you've got to shift your belief. And as Trisha said, yes, I am a certified coach and trainer. I do not coach people privately. Once a month, I do open group coaching where I answer questions and I help people shift their mindset. There's no selling because I don't sell coaching, right? But I want to leave you with this. Wherever you're at right now, if you can just shift your belief a little bit, that change is possible. Change is possible in your health, change is possible in your finances, your relationship. Maybe you're going through a relationship crisis right now. Maybe you've got a child who's going through crisis. If you can just shift that belief just a little bit, it opens up the whole world. So at the very base of this is unconsciously incompetent, which means that you don't even know that change is possible. Right? You don't know it's possible. You wouldn't know what it looked like. You wouldn't be here. You show up every single week because you believe change is possible. But and when you're prospecting for Isagenix, someone who's unconsciously incompetent, they're so much in their pain. They are so much in their frustration and anger. They don't believe change is possible. You're going to have a tough time recruiting them. So you've got to be very patient. Consciously incompetent, what that means is, you know, there's something you don't know, and you may be there right now. There's something I don't know. There's something I don't know about the products, but then I'll release my last 10 pounds. Or there's something I don't yet know about generating leads or recruiting or booking appointments. But once I know it, I'm going to rank advance, right? And when you're in this consciously incompetent, that's a great place to be because you're so curious. And I'm always very curious. Like if someone recruits 10 people in 72 hours, I'm like, how did you do it? I want to know, like, because I just want to know. Consciously competent means you know change is possible. You're living it right now. You get on the calls, you hear the stories, and you're after it. You are focused, you're transforming right now. And unconsciously competent is a place where change just happens in your life and you roll with it. Like when annotation goes across the screen or you can't change your slides, you've dealt with so much change, so much trauma, and come out the other side that you're just like the water and you just flow with it. And that's a beautiful place to be. It's a beautiful place to build your business from. And I just want to leave you with a quote from Isaiah. And I read this every Monday. I do an open for anyone in Isagenix who has the Penny app, an open work session. It's called Momentum Monday. And you can show up and we use your Penny app and we go prospecting and we follow up. You're all invited. I think there are like 16 different teams on there. I don't care. I'm in the legacy stage of my business, so I just want everyone to succeed. But let me read this to you. It's Isaiah 55:11. I read this on Momentum Monday. So shall my word be that goes out from my mouth. It shall not return to me empty, but it shall accomplish that which I propose and shall succeed in the thing for which I sent it. And I read that to you because I want you to understand that your words have power. And there are about 18 weeks left this year, and you have the power to speak that greatness over yourself. You have the power to take off those scarlet letters. You have the power to take your business to the next level, because success is your birthright. You put those scarlet letters on yourself. Other people may have said those things, but you chose to wear them. So I leave you with this: just take them off, go forward, and let's all finish the year strong. So anyway, thank you for having me, Trisha.
Thank you so much, Susan. And I don't know if you want to close us out or if that was like your close, but I will say, you know, as she was talking about the scarlet letter, I was thinking about one of my favorite quotes, which is, there is no such thing as darkness, only absence of light. And as we remove these things that are limiting us, it's beautiful how that vessel just opens up and we can just be, the universe can pour into us. And that's what she's talking about, guys. So let's make that commitment together as a group. Plug in where you need to be plugged in, right? Clear out the negative. Get rid of the ugly. Get rid of those limiting beliefs so that you can be open as a vessel is, unbroken and ready to just receive. I love you guys so much. Tonight was beautiful. Susan, any last words?
No, just, you know, thank you. Thank you again, Trisha, for having me. And Michelle, I was touched by your story. I'm a daddy's girl. I was raised by a single dad. So he's 80 now, and I am separated. He's in Canada, and I can't travel to go see him. So we're in the age and stage where we're losing our parents. It's really hard. I just, you know, I want to send you all so much love. You know, please go out and build your business and share what we have. There were millions of people last night praying for this solution, and they didn't know it was called Isogenics. So anyway, thanks again, Trisha. If you guys, you know, want to hit me up on social, let me know what you're taking away or whatever. I'm happy to, you know, interact with you and stuff. But anyway, God bless everyone. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, everybody. Stephanie, for all your hard work putting this call together. You guys have a great week. If you do something on social media, make sure to share your takeaways from Susan and Michelle tonight. And let's bless the rest of the world. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. What a wonderful evening.
Bye, Jazzy.